Adam Booth.
I did.
I'm very well. We asked you at the end of 2012 what would constitute a good year for you. You said if George wins this fight, then that would top things off.
Right.
He won, so it was a good year.
Yes.
Tell me what would constitute a good 2013.
Winning, having fun, but more importantly, being healthy, happy, and having security.
How was your Christmas, New Year's?
Busy. I was just in the gym because I've got Selçuk Aydın fighting in Vegas on the 26th, and I've got Andy Lee fighting on February the 9th. And then because we didn't know the date for George, he had to stay in the gym as well. So the only day I had off was Christmas Day.
No rest for the righteous, as they say.
I'm doing what I choose to do, so I can't moan, can I?
That's fair enough. Tell me a little bit about George's next opponent and the taking of the pursuing of the European title.
Well, the most important thing for George's career is that he fights the right opponents at the right time, not ones that he can win without a challenge. And they're the fights that we look for. Now, Muhammad Ali Ndiaye is very competent at European level, good record, strong, can punch a bit, can box a bit, is coming into the prime of his sort of maturity, and he can ask questions of George, questions that finding the answers to will help him be more experienced at a higher level when he gets there. So of course, it's the right type of opponent. The fact that it can be made for the European title gives it a perfect little edge, because then he's got the opportunity to have won the British Commonwealth and European.
Why did James duck this fight or relinquish the title, in your opinion?
Got to ask James.
You have no opinion?
What about James?
Yeah.
Not really, no. My opinion on James.
No, just the whole.
May 2011.
No longer on the focus. The reason I asked you is because I asked George, and he seems to think that it was too tough an opponent for James at the moment. Your thoughts?
On James, if you look at his last couple of fights, he's obviously still got to be working on a few things. I know Ndiaye is a competent fighter, so it would have been a competitive fight. And if they think, okay, at this stage we're going to look for a different opponent, that's their choice, because he's got to build himself to being a successful fighter as well.
Obviously, more than one way to skin a cat. Tell me, if George comes through this fight successfully, what you hope for him to achieve this year? Because I would expect most likely it would open the way for a world title shot at some stage, maybe.
Don't know. First thing is to win this fight and to be healthy. We'll make the plans after that. The ideal thing would be for him to fight 4 times this year, and to stay injury-free and develop, improve, and then we'll just judge it after each fight.
He's got a glint in his eye, the type of glint you pick up when you get confidence from beating a Glenn Johnson. Do you notice that, or has that always been there for you?
He's naturally confident. I think he genuinely loves what he does. So he's living his dream, isn't he? He's a professional fighter. He's popular. He's successful up to this point, and he's doing what he loves. We're lucky. We're so lucky, and so why shouldn't we have that glint in our eye when we get up in the morning? We go and spend time with the people that we want to spend doing what we love. We're lucky.
It's Rule Britannia. Who headlines the bill?
At the moment, it's got to be Ricky in a fighting sense, because Vasquez, look at who he's fought and look at how he's only just been beaten by the guys who people are talking about being the best in the world pound for pound. So it has to be Ricky against him. I know quite a bit about Krasniqi, and I know that Nathan against Krasniqi is a genuinely competitive fight. So that's a really good fight. I'd have to say that Ricky's fight probably sits above that because of who Vasquez is. And then you've got George against Ndiaye for the European, because it's European and because of the level they're at. You say that sits just underneath that. And then it all depends who they make for Derek.
Should be a good night of boxing.
Okay, thanks, man.
Thanks for your time, man. Appreciate it.